jam, chicken, crazy. Alright, whatever. Okay, so alright, so let me actually start prepping this shit, because as you guys can see, like, my kitchen is super small. Like, I have about, like, the counter space here is equivalent of over here, and I have, like, very little over here. Yeah. Alright, so don't be afraid, love is the way. You can call me Rosa. Okay, we're gonna start noodles real quick. Alright, hang on, let me get that first. Okay, let me move this up a little bit. You guys will have to give me extra responses to actually know what looks good and what doesn't. Alright. Should have been better. Yeah, it's better. Okay, cool. Ow. Fuck. What did I just step on? It's glass. Fuck. Me. Okay. You guys still can't find the thing, can you? Alright, so what I'm going to be using tonight is, you can use ramen if you want. My dad's girlfriend gave me this. I'll show you guys what it is. It is, it's a flat type of udon. They're actually very, very thin. Usually udon's very thick. It's actually very extremely thin. But yeah, so, just going to take a little pack of it. But smell of burning is not pleasant. So, alright, it's fine. It's come in little pre-packaged things. Which is, ta-da! It's about that. So that's what we're going to use as our base for noodles. I mean, you can use rice for this, but I think this recipe in particular is a little bit better with noodles. I think that'll be enough water. A little bit more. But yeah, I'm 100% sure this same recipe will basically do the same with what is that smell that's burning? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, but it'll basically be the same taste as ramen. These ones are a little bit sweeter, so alright, I'm gonna put this away. Alright, I mean, if you can't find it, you can't find it. As long as you can hear me, Elvin. I don't know what Papa's doing, so. Alright, so what I like adding in this recipe, I just put the pan real quick. So what I like adding in this is kind of making it like a soup broth. It's a little light. It's lighter than what normal things are. So I'll just put it like around the floor. Alright, so what I like as obviously this chicken, I'm gonna cut this in a second. So chicken. I have sesame seeds for these that I think will go really well. I'm just gonna keep up chat, Elvin, so if you actually just want to say something, since you can't find it, just keep it in there. So, because I don't really care what it looks like. But yeah, so the sesame seeds is this. And then I'm going to be adding leeks, because leeks are really good. They're healthy for you. And bok choy, because bok choy is like my favorite green. So it's pretty easy. And I forgot, where did the garlic go? There it is. Wait. A little bit of garlic, because more healthy stuff. So I'm going to cut on this little fucking small portion. So excuse me as I cry. I've got my teeny tiny ass fucking kitchen. Maybe we could cut it with. As long as you can hear me, that's fine. I'm going to turn the music a little louder. That's fine. Yeah, it's perfect. Bad. That was garlic for like legit forever. But yeah, Evan, if you want, I can start doing these tutorials. Like, I'll just have to figure out what recipe I make. Like, next time I can make pork katsu, which that's probably one of my better dishes that I can make. So, and I know pretty well to do that. Oh yeah, I forgot. My Chromecast is like kind of possessed. Yeah. But yeah, no, my Chromecast is like straight up possessed. It'll go from like super loud to like super quiet. It sucks. Like, so I have no control over it. I'm sure fucking Apopka will like tell me how horrible of a chef I am when he comes back or if he watches. Alright, so let's get a little bit of stock. I'm gonna just use chicken stock. I personally like unsalted. I really don't like adding salt to stuff that doesn't need to be salted. What is this? What is this? What is that? The fuck just came out of my goddamn drop. Hang on. The fuck? It's like, oh, is it just a bottom piece? Oh, okay. Like, sorry, something like solidified on the bottom, and I like freaked out because I'm like, the fuck is that? And I just realized it's legit. It was legit just like a more hardened piece of stock. My bad. We're good. I'm not gonna die. Yeah, chicken stock. So I'm gonna put a little bit of it. I have a Thai kind of chicken stock that was really good. That my local Publix sold. My grocery store. I can just use this. Yeah. Basically, I just like cutting garlic. Garlic's just generally good. I've been trying to make more like health, like conscious things, like stuff that'll be good for you. Actually, get a little bit of ginger too, because it's really good. All right, so all the garlic and all that marinade. Let me make one more. Yeah, basically. So I can just stop being so stupid. Like I want to play the music from the computer, but then you'll just get the feedback, and that's just a horrible idea. Because then you just won't hear me. You'll just hear my music like at a horrible crap quality. So you'll just have to hear it in the distance. Alright. Yeah, I can totally make pork katsu if you'd like the cooking ones versus like a sewing, since I don't really think like you or Popka really want to see me sew, since you know like you guys see it on the daily. So alright, so I mean I'm not really sure how like knowledgeable most people are with Asian cooking. It does take a little bit of time, because you kind of have to get like reacquainted with like, oh, this is this kind of seasoning, this is this with this seasoning. You know, rice is a very good dish to put with anything. You know, most people usually use pasta. I personally just like rice better. How high do you turn up the stovetop? I mean, I have it right now on like medium, like 5. When it goes like, you know, 2 to 8. I have it on 5 right now. I usually don't like putting things too high because I'm not really boiling anything. If I'm boiling anything, I should actually put the noodles on high because I'm not dumb. But I didn't put it on high because I'm an idiot. So, because I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, so the noodles, I mean, usually just how you cook like ramen is the noodles. But yeah, right now I just kind of have it simmering. I usually don't like to like super boil it, at least not right now, because it's just like getting the flavor of the garlic and etc. So you don't really need to. And I didn't really like prep any of the things because, you know, I was trying to figure out the fuck to do this. So kind of, I really, like I said, I didn't really prep anything, so I'm not really in a rush to do anything. And so I apologize if the mic quality is shit. You're used to the nice one because it's kind of in the other room. So that's that out of the way. I'm gonna put some leeks. It'd be more like a soup broth. I might actually add a lot more. Probably add a little bit of water too. Fuck that in. I think I'm not gonna die, so. Yeah, usually you just want to cut the leeks. It doesn't really matter what size. Kind of like that. I mean, you can cut them closer, like smaller if you want or not. Sorry, I should probably actually go here because the camera shit. But yeah, so. I just like leeks. They give a good taste. I like a lot of grains in my stuff. I don't like seldomly just like meat and like rice. I generally actually like having a fair portion of everything. It's just a lot healthier and such. All right, so let that go for a while. All right, so now that that's done, put some sesame seeds in it. I'm trying to learn not picky. No, you're fine. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I'll be down to do cooking because, you know, I mean, I'll be more than happy. By the way, there's a crepe recipe. I will PM you in a papka. I will get it real quick. But it's actually a cooking book that has super, super solid recipes. That's being Puppy Cat inspired. Which, if you don't know, it was a animated series, and then they got like kickstarted, and then it blew up because it had a comic book. And the comic book was really good, and then they kind of like went MIA. So. Right. Just some sesame. I mean, I like sesame seeds, so I'm just put a good amount in there. They just have a good texture and stuff like that. All right, leeks, bok choy. Bok choy we're gonna add a little bit later because the bok choy cooks really, really fast, and I do like it like very solid, but I mean I like it very soft, and then you can easily eat it. But I'm gonna cook the chicken for right now, so I'm gonna keep my eye on the noodles because I don't want them to get like way too soft. So. But yeah, you're not picky. Don't worry about it. I'm sure if a pop goes huge, picky as fuck. Sadly enough, I did not have breasts. They had like breasts on sale, but apparently all of them were not there. And I think this has bones, so you're gonna have to bear with me trying to pick out the bones. There is all four. Shit. Hang on. Means I use a really fucking ghetto thing. Alright, so I'm gonna keep a eye on the noodles. The noodles should actually just be done. I'm just gonna turn that off right now. I don't want to overcook them, like I said. Alright, so this means I very ghettily fucking cut this chicken because it's not the chicken I normally have because they were completely out of stock, which is crazy to think. But yeah, so basically you want to unload. I just like simmering the chicken. I'm not really in a rush, like I said. I have to get all of the kind of pieces prepped. I kind of don't like prep really anything. I just kind of go ad lib. So this is bones. Nobody fucking wants bones on their chicken. Nobody. Also, I'm one to not add fat. I personally hate adding fat in my chicken. I know some people like to use it like as a, what's the word I'm looking for? People like it because, it can add flavor, but I generally just don't like fat. Specifically, pork fat is like the worst. This is gonna be so ghetto. I'm so sorry in advance. I really wish. But yeah, if you bring it to a low simmer, you can already see, like, also do small pieces. I'm not really big on big pieces. It's basically already almost, like, fully cooked. So, like, a low simmer really isn't going to hurt anything. And to be honest, you can't really overcook it, chicken. So, but yeah, so what I'm going to do is basically wait till all the chicken is in there, and then I'm going to throw in the bok choy. This is going to be miserable. I promise I'm not bad at cutting chicken. This just has bones. I've never cooked chicken with bones. Unless, like, I'm, cooking a whole chicken, and then even then I'm still not cooking with bones, because then at that point you just eat around it. So, but yeah, Elvin, I'm gonna be going around 9:30. So it's 8:41, so yeah, I'm just probably gonna take about, like, 30 minutes or such. Probably eat this so, I don't fucking throw up at the gym, and then, I wonder this is, like, 3:49. Should've just gone to Walmart. It would've been way easier. But strawberries were on sale. I want to go Publix. But yeah, they had like a really cheap sale on chicken, so I think that's why they kind of sold out. So, well. I'm also going to add a little bit of sesame oil. So there's a ton of different Asian things. There's sesame oil, there's mirin, there's rice wine. Mirin adds a little bit of a sweet flavor. I'm actually going to add a little bit of that too. So, sesame oil is kind of overall Asian. Mirin is specifically Japanese. Oyster sauce is both. Sesame oil. Sesame seed oil is just that. Have you ever made your own chicken broth? No, not really. I generally try not to make things too much homemade. Use that time. There's also soba, but that's if you want more of a salty approach. Yeah. Oyster sauce is very interesting. It like tastes very good, but it's very not something that I think like most really like Westerners would know how to cook with. All right, I'm gonna check the noodles, see if they're cold, if they're good or not. They're pretty good. Yeah, these are pretty much done. So with these kind of noodles in particular, what you want to do is usually with noodles and stuff like that, especially when you're cooking this, unless you know you pair them up. You normally want to. I generally like cooking noodles separate, so you don't have to worry about overcooking them because you know like you could overcook something or stuff like that. So I like keeping them separate. So usually you just use like a colander. You basically dump them out. And I always feel like if the noodles are a little bit undercooked, you don't really have to worry. I also like putting it like that because it just makes life easier. But usually don't have to worry about the noodles, you know, kind of overcooking. You always want to make sure they're like perfectly done, or you want to make sure they're like a little bit before. I don't really know how expertise like you are in cooking with like you know noodles and shit like that. To be honest, I'm horrible at cooking pasta. I'm fucking garbage. I can never time it properly. I'm not. I'm an Italian, and I would not make my country proud. But with noodles, I'm a lot better, like Asian noodles. But yeah, because usually what you want to do is this is more of a broth base. So you know if you keep it a little, just a smidge undercooked, just in case, like you know, make it perfect or just a little bit under. Don't probably want to have it a little more on the overside. So because you're gonna be sticking the broth in it, and then you know unless you eat it like ASAP, you know. And then usually these kind of noodles, the noodles I'm working with, the udon ones, usually what you would do is you cook them in cold. But I'm just going to let them cook for just a little bit longer, so that's why I'm kind of leaving them like that. So I think this should be good enough. I think this little breast will be enough. I'm not really overly hungry. I've been eating a lot of small meals. So, oh my god, this is so difficult. I like, just want to partially throw this in there because there's so much meat I'm missing. It's upsetting me. Fucking shitty ass remix. There's so much meat. Look at all this meat. It bothers me. I feel like rip it off from the bone. Some tendons. Usually I don't like tendons either. They're really weird. I mean, tendons just always have that chewiness I never really liked. So, like very finicky when I cook. You guys haven't realized? Alright, come on. I'm not gonna get this piece. I'm sorry, I'm not getting this piece. Come on. Come on. Just get off the tendon. You can do it. Just get it off the tendon. Oh my god, this is like, okay, yeah, it's like a pate at this point. I give up. Little chicken pieces. You can also always add egg to this. I'm not going to. It kind of changes the taste of it completely. But you could totally at the end just crack an egg, let it cook for a little bit, and then you just have a full egg which you can break. Which I might do, I don't know, but I think okay with Anya. I can about it. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, just cooking for yourself's a lot better and healthier because you eat less. Like I realize when I go out and I order something, I'll eat a lot more because you know, A, I can't portion control it, and B, you know, I'm just like, oh no, I'm not hungry. But if you cook yourself, you kind of get a little bit like somewhat full from cooking with it, and as well as you just become a lot happier. All right, there's nothing really I can do about this giant piece. I regret getting that piece, but yeah, so this is enough chicken basically, as you can see. It's slowly going to be cooking, so I'm going to throw in the bok choy. Bok choy is really good. I already washed this piece, so I don't really have to stress about this. If you don't like the longer pieces, most people usually just like the bottom piece. I like the whole piece. But that's because you can either get the crunchiness or you can just let it soak for a while and then it's not crunchy. So it's a pretty quick meal, to be honest. It's not very hard. Oh, like a little big bok choy. Little chibi bok choy. Yep. They're so tiny. But yeah, bok choy is essentially basically like spinach where it will disintegrate into nothingness. So don't think you'll like get a couple pieces and you'll be good. You probably won't, like not this big, but you probably won't put about half for like one serving. I'm gonna add a little bit of ginger too. Let me clean this off real quick because this all has fucking grody ass shit on it. What's the cap? I need that. That's important. You're important. I'm like super always like worried about salmonella, so I constantly clean anything with chicken on it, especially raw. We'll get to that later. This is all garbage. Garbage. So I'm gonna leave that chicken thing for later. Figure out what the fuck to do with that. I'll probably just like bake that, so then like, because if you bake that, it'll just fall off right off the bone, and then you don't have to really worry about it. So I feel like that's kind of what that's for versus like, you know, a cutlet or something. So I'm just gonna throw a shit ton of this in it. Like I said, it'll disintegrate into nothing. I also fucking love bok choy. Alright, also I'm gonna run this through some cold water so it doesn't stick to itself. It's usually this kind of noodle, if you leave it, it'll stick to itself, and then that's just bad. Usually cold. Usually what you want to do is, I kind of know it's off screen, but I'll show you. Because the problem is it'll stick to itself if you don't do this, specifically this kind of noodle, soba noodles, etc. Like certain usually udons and stuff like that, you usually want to make it cold. You want to, like, after it's done cooking. The normal pasta, you know, you don't have to do that, but yeah. So basically what you do is you put it in a colander, you just run it through cold water, and you just like strain it with your fingers, because then it doesn't stick. Yeah, it's perfect. So unless it's really weird, I like cooking with chopsticks usually. I feel like they just have a lot more purpose, like they're a lot more multi-purposeful versus other shit. Alright, so go with chopsticks. So I'm gonna try to get this bok choy like in the actual broth. So yeah, so I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna put a little bit of ginger in it. These are like, I'm putting like a lot of spices to make sure this is healthy as fuck. Ginger. I have fresh ginger. The only problem with fresh ginger I don't like is it tends to really chunk up, and then you just get a fucking mouthful of ginger and you like want to cry. So mix this a little bit. Does this work only with chicken? I mean, you can substitute this with pork, yeah. It's just you're probably going to use a vegetable broth then. If you substitute it with pork, you're not obviously going to want to use it with chicken broth. So I'm going to cover this so it kind of encapsulates itself. And I'm going to get the crepe batch ready. So I'm going to tell you, I'm actually put some more sesame seeds in there. So basically I'm putting a cap on it. Not that the chicken needs it, but basically to kind of make the bok choy kind of cook faster. This bok choy will 100% soak up all of the flavor and stuff. So, and then after I know the chicken's 100% cooked, I'll see if I need to add any other seasonings and stuff like that. So, alright, so cool. I shouldn't need anything else, but. Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna put this away real quick. Hang on. Use faggot. Because I don't want it going bad. Nor do I want salmonella. Fuck that shit. Just faggot. I'll cook that tomorrow. Probably just make a roast or something. Yeah, crepe hype. Alright, so yeah, so this is the batter of the crepe. It's a lot lower than it was. I will personally send you guys the recipe. I'll even send you the picture. It's extremely easy. Basically what it is it's 2 cups of flour. You want to sift it, so you want to do the flour last, but basically it's 2 cups of flour. I'm going to put this in bowls while I'm doing this. 2 cups of flour, 6 eggs, 4 cups of milk. What else? Also, as you can see, I have super Asian fucking bowls. But basically, 4 cups of milk, and then what else? What else? It was like, oh yeah, it was a cup of sugar, and then a, what else? It was a 1/4 of salt, and I think that was it. It was pretty simple. Basically, this is what crepe mix looks like. I'll show you. It's super kind of a lot more liquidy. Usually pancake mix is very thick, kind of, you know. But usually I like to use a ladle. As you can see, I have a little Nessie ladle. But basically what you want to do is I'm going to switch the pans out when this is done, which is basically done. I kind of actually want to throw it, like, no, I'll keep it. I want to throw an egg in there, but I just, like, don't want to ruin it right now. Right, so after basically, yeah, I'll leave that a little bit longer. I just really want the ends of the bok choy to be a lot softer, and it just needs a little bit more, so I will leave that for just a wee bit more. Alright, so yeah, so basically for the crepe, once you mix everything, just put it in the fridge for an hour, it's ready to go, and let me show you how you cook it. So, you can use a small pan or a big pan. I like big pans because you can hold a lot more shit, so this is the pan we're going to be using. I'm going to be waiting until that is done because that is the bigger piece. Actually, we're just going to move that over. So we're going to actually just go swoop. So what I like to do when I start it, so first things first, the crepe mix has butter and shit like that. So you probably need a recipe. Yeah, obviously. But like I said, I'll send you the actual recipe and put this away. But yeah, so basically, what I like to do is I like to put this around specifically 4.5. Now I don't know your personal oven. Everyone's oven is different. But I like to do it in 4.5, around 4.5, because I don't want it to cook too much. It's like what I do with my eggs. I don't want it to just like automatically hit the pan and go psh, and like already cooked. So I like to like slowly kind of cook, because some people like it crispy, some people like it a little bit more like flimsy. So I'm gonna put it in 4.5. I'm gonna let this cool down. By the time it does that, I'm gonna do a little bit of coconut oil. I really like doing coconut oil. It's a lot healthier. B, it has a sweet taste. And C, it's just better than butter. But you can, usually what I do is if I do it before, I just take a stick of butter and I just like rub it all around, and then that way it's fully covered. Because basically what it is this will have butter, but it won't have enough butter. Like I have nonstick pans, but that doesn't help it, you know, from, you know, sticking or getting like too hard. Because if you do it with a slight bit of oil, it will, it'll just kind of come off a lot easier. Alright, so that's done. Get all this stuff so you can actually see. But yeah, usually I try to make very quick dinners. I usually don't like spending a lot of time on dinner. Kind of like how you see, like if I ever make lunch, I try to keep it to. Oh, hang on, my battery's kind of running low. Hang on a moment. It's a lot easier than a sewing tutorial, so. Yeah, everyone has a kitchen, at least for the most part. Everyone has a sewing machine. I agree. Yeah. I was talking to Janelle. I said I may do this a little bit more often, like every week. This isn't really a problem to do. I go all the way across the kitchen because I was like, no. I think so. Also, I cook some tea because I really like drinking tea with dinner. It's very kind of like relaxing. Also, generally, usually if you drink something that's warm, your digestion feels a lot better versus like hot, cold, which is weird because, you know, all people kind of from America and stuff like that, even Europe, like drinks cold. So basically what you're going to do is after this is kind of heated up, you can kind of feel it's a little hot. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to have a whole scoop of your little ladle. Alright, so the trick is the moment it hits the pan, you want to swirl it around. Now this isn't properly heated up. Usually about the second one it's properly heated up. First one I always say give it about the first test. But yeah, you basically want to keep swirling it around, try to get the heat distributed. My pan's a little retarded. It will go a little bit more this way. I don't know what it is, but it's a little bit more bias on this side. So usually if you're cooking, a lot of the heat will go on that side versus this side. So yeah, so basically you're going to want to keep flipping it until basically there's nothing else running. You're just going to kind of leave it, and then you'll see it kind of start to go like, instead of liquidy, into kind of like a hardened thing. I like, again, cooking with chopsticks, but specifically you will need a spatula for this. Yeah, so basically you try to just get around the edges, make sure nothing's, you know, everything's kind of hunky-dory. This will probably be a little bit more oily than the second one. I just like oiling the pan more than anything. I'm actually going to put this on because this Boy Choy is perfect. And this just started, so it should be good. Actually, I know I'm not going to do that because this will take a little bit, so kind of want to take your spatula now. You'll see like little slight bubbles and stuff like that. What I like to do is like to shake it, and if you can kind of see it's like moving a little bit, that means it's a little bit more on the cook side versus you know, raw. Because remember, this will have eggs, so you definitely want to make sure it's fully cooked. I mean, basically, like versus a pancake, sometimes you can't really tell if it's cooked or not. This basically, as long as it's not runny, it's cooked. So as you can see, it's kind of starting to peel a little bit more. And you can start pressing in a little bit more on the sides to make sure stuff is moving. So it looks like it's moving a little bit more to the front. Okay, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer. You basically just want to really shake it. I'm going to wait a little bit longer, so I am going to serve this real quick. Where is the little server thing? Where did it go? I just fucking had it. Oh my gosh. Alright. Yeah, alright, hang on. So let me do this real quick before I flip it. So, this is basically ready to flip. So I usually want to, it's being a little stubborn because it's the first one. You usually want to kind of get it to that front part, because that way you can just flip it a lot easier, but I think this, yeah, this part right here is being a little dumb. Yeah, there we go. You want to make sure nothing's really sticking to the bottom. Yeah, so I'm going to kind of be a little careless with this one. Yeah, because that bottom part got burnt. So obviously you want to aim for it to be properly circle. This one's a little bit of a dunce. Got kind of stupid, so I'll just kind of eat this one, but I will actually make a proper one. But yeah, part of the, usually what you want to do is when you're around these sides, you kind of want to poke it to make sure everything stays, and you want to kind of like get a little bit deeper in all the wedges. I mean, this obviously isn't a proper crepe maker. There's a legit crepe maker that kind of like scoops under it. Also, you probably want to do something a little flatter than this. Mine's a little big for usually baking, but yeah, so basically you want to have it kind of like that. Some people like it a little bit further, but basically I like it kind of clear, like not really brown at all, but I'm going to let this down and then I'm just going to serve this real quick. So. Yeah, sometimes I'm in a little bit more of a soup mood, sometimes I'm a little bit more in like a dish mood. It just depends on what I'm in. I think I should have made a little bit more chicken. A lot less chicken than I thought there was. Oops. Okay. Oops, over here. Alright, so this should be done. Yeah, see how it kind of slides now? Yeah, that is good. So I will make a real one, not a shit one. Yeah, so I'll show you what the back side of this looks like, which is what most people like because it's a little bit more on the crispy side. So normally what people like is a little bit more like that. It's a little bit more on the crispy side. Right. So yeah, so let me make an actual one that's not stuck like an ass. Because I legit have made like 12 in total, and not one of them is stuck, so fuck you. Okay, so let's try this again. It's ready. I'm gonna turn it down. I think it's a little too hot. Okay. So like I said, you just gotta kind of keep turning it. The plus side with this is you can kind of keep like going around the edges to making it a little bit bigger. But that's about it for right now. Okay, so yeah, so the soup is gonna be like this. Probably should add a little bit more broth. It's kind of ad-libbing it, but basically it's a good place portion. I like smaller portions. I'm not really big into big portions. So, I mean, obviously, if you're a big portion person, go for it. Go ham. So yeah, so you can kind of see like everything's kind of dissolved. There's not really anything that's solid. I mean, it's liquid around the edges. It should be a little bit more well oiled. Because the only problem with coconut oil is you're not really covering everything. With butter, you can legit just cover everything, and there's like not really anything that's missing, so I'm gonna start giving them a little shake. I believe I fucking suck at pancakes. I have to practice. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm not really good at pancakes either. So yeah, so basically you kind of want to go like loop, 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 loop to make sure like everything's kind of not really stuck without really destroying the crepe. Yes, that should be good. Come on, you. Nope, get in me. Stupid. You've been fine all fucking week. What is with you? What is with you? You were so rude. Also, if you have like little things that you don't want to rip, generally I like to keep chopsticks around me so they're a little bit more precise. They'll grab things because usually you can use your hands. I mean, if you have a high tolerance to heat, but I do not. I'm a little bitch baby. Alright, so that should be good. Why won't you fucking go forward? Maybe I should put a little bit more oil. Alright, we're gonna do this old fashioned. And just pray. Ready? I mean, obviously you don't have to flip it. It just makes it a lot easier when you want to flip it over. Usually, generally, it kind of crepes have wrinkles. I'll show you what I mean in a second. It's being so dumb. It was so fine today. Like, I made these like perfectly this morning. Yeah, generally, you just want to kind of shake it. Yeah, I definitely should put more oil. But yeah, so generally, I should put a little more oil. I was a little shy in the oil today, but yeah. So basically, when you flip it, it'll be flat again. You know, if you feel like one side isn't cooked enough, like I'll probably cook this one a little bit longer. I generally like the fully white kind of look as well as taste. It just tastes very like smooth. The crispy's good. It just tastes as meh. So I'm gonna be cutting some strawberries. So small ass freaking space. So let me get another one. I have not fully cleaned my. I'm gonna turn this off just because. Yeah. So you wonder about that about a little pro pancake flipper. That's fair. I'm gonna clean some strawberries. Let's go give Janelle his food real quick. Yeah. Is it good? Okay, well, you heard it from Janelle. Apparently it tastes good. Yeah, there's definitely not enough oil on here. Yeah, so you want to make sure, if you feel like they're sticking like this, like I said, just add some more oil. Because usually they never stick. Might be at the bottom of the barrel, so like, because all the oil, like, you know, surfaces to the top, so as you keep going through the batter, unless you properly mix it, there's less and less oil, so like, you know, it doesn't really, because you add some olive oil in this too, so. Come on. You're such a dick today. You were fine all week. What's wrong with you? Crepes. Crepes. Speak to me. Why you not speak to me? Alright, so that'll be good. So I'm going to cut some strawberries and I'll show you guys what I did. Like the sweet part. So basically what I do for this, like, generally you can usually just have raw fruit. I like to add a little bit more of the, a little bit more of like a sweetener to add it. To like kind of enhance it but not take away from it. And what I do is I take whipping cream. I mean, not whipping cream, sorry. Oh, yo, fucking, I'm gonna do that. I got rice pudding, so I'm gonna put rice pudding on mine. Because I love me some rice pudding. So, anyway, so what I do is I take whipped cream and cream cheese, sorry, not whipped cream. You take cream cheese. You can put honey or you can put sugar in it. I like actually put a little bit of both. I like honey because it's a natural sweetener. It's not as bad. It gives it like a honey taste. Like I have orange honey. It tastes great in it. So basically what you do is you will whip it and it will be a lot more of like, it will kind of be a little bit, I added a little bit of milk of mine too, like very gradually. So it'd be a little bit smoother, a little bit lighter because everyone knows cream cheese is hella heavy. So if you have a really, really strong sweet tooth, like you have a problem, like your teeth are rotting out of your goddamn mouth, you can just leave it and just put the sugar. If you like it a little bit softer, not so like hardcore, add a little bit of milk gradually and kind of get the feeling of like, hey, this is better and stuff like that. So Usually want to have a little bit more smaller pieces. I usually cut them into 4s. Nope. Nope. God bless for fucking garbage disposals. But yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Crepes are pretty fucking easy. Once you kind of know how to do them, they're really easy. I mean, you can use crepes for dinner. You can use them for lunch. Breakfast. I actually made a great breakfast crepe. I just put yogurt and fruit and granola, and it tasted amazing. So I will just leave it for that. Actually, I just want more, so that doesn't cut it. Boop. Ignore my glasses because they keep falling on the pieces of shit. Yeah, so that's a crepe. That is some soup. Yeah. I'm going to also get super whipped cream because I am a legit child. So yeah, so I will use the actual good one, not the shitty one that I made. But yeah, generally I like to assume that my first crepe will be shit. That's just always a good assumption. So they're very good warm. So it's a little bit more on the soggy side, which is my personal favorite. But it's got a little crispy on the edges. So generally, kind of want to treat it like a taco. Just put it in the middle. Usually you want to put it more of a line. You can make these for like hand consumption. Usually if you do it for a little bit of lunch with meat and stuff like that, like what was it, a couple days ago, I did chicken with Boy Choy and some like apricot sauce and stuff like that, and you could just eat it with your hands. You know, put it more. I like the fruit a little bit more. Make a little bit more of the fruit. But yeah, so what you normally do is take a little bit too, and you just basically wrap it. You can fold in the edges if you want, but I feel like that's more of a burrito. Put a little bit on the top so that way it'll close properly. And yep. Yep. And there's your crepe. So ta-da! If you guys like this food stuff, I can definitely do it more. I enjoy cooking and I enjoy learning cooking. So I'll probably prep a couple things before I actually like cook and show you guys what I'm making. I'll 100% make pork katsu next week though, because that's probably like my favorite dish that I make. It just tastes amazing. And there's 2 different ways to do it. You can do it without the sauteed onions. But to be honest, it really enhances the flavor. But it's not really too hard. It definitely takes a little bit more prep than this, obviously. So I'd probably take a little bit more time in that aspect. But I just finished making mine, and then I'll actually go eat, and I'll go to the gym and be a good girl, not a fat fuck. Yeah, generally for dinners, I like to have a smaller meal. A lot of Americans, etc., just people in general, like to have a very big meal at dinner. I feel very fat the rest of the day. And if you ever have it, like, you can always just snack a little bit later. You know, you don't have to just fucking shove food in your face and feel like a fat fuck. That's just me. I like not overeating and feeling like shit, so. Excuse my shitty looking fucking. Ow, fuck. Or my shitty looking crepe. Fucking still tastes the same, doesn't matter. So, by the way, the crepe batter will. The crepe batter will last you about. I'm about on my like probably 10th plus crepe, and I still have like half the batter left. So this stuff will 100% last you a while. Generally, usually crepe recipes last about a week and a half to 2. I don't know about this one. I'm kind of using it very fast when I normally use crepe recipes, so I can't really say how long this will last. But you probably most likely will not make all the crepes in the first go. So. Is that how you like your pancakes as well? Pasty like that? No. I don't like my pancakes like that. It's just how I like my crepes. I like my crepes a lot lighter. But yeah, guys. So I'm gonna go eat because I'm hungry and I'm fucking famished. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I will definitely be streaming tomorrow. So see you guys then. Bye. Hopefully this actually was helpful and stuff. I don't know if this will be like on you can watch it again or something like that. I might just do that. Might just be a thing. I don't know, but I'm sorry this little camera looks like shit because it's my laptop camera and it's complete shit. So I will see you guys then. Have a good night. Bye. Bye.